EDG. EDG.
EDG,
Right? Is
EDG,
this?
Damn, that was
EDG.
so bad.
If
That
you
was
guys,
horrible.
yeah. Oh, hold on. I gotta put my mic. I forgot.
EDG.
What's good, everybody?
EDG,
Welcome back to the YouTube channel today.
EDG.
Today is the
EDG.
full podcast. I am one of your hosts, Gunter. And today with me, to my left,
Hi. I'm Manslam, Mr. Gia, and the one at the bottom.
Mrs. Lawrenson. I mean, no, guys. Mr. Lawrenson. EDG,
And
bro. EDG.
today,
Yes.
today, we
It's
got
been a
some
minute.
gaming news updates for you
EDG.
guys.
EDG. I'm here predicting right now.
They're,
Is
they're
EDG gonna win?
streaming EDG because League of Legends Worlds, the actual tournament, not the play-ins, starts today. But on Sunday, it would have been 2 days have already started. But it started today, technically. And we have
Yeah.
EDG as number one in our first group. So we're hoping they win T1, but they already lost because T1 has Yumi.
By the way, if by the YouTube if by the time this YouTube has published it and EDG lost, we are gonna have to do something.
Yo, what?
Oh,
Yo, you're gonna put my boy Chovy on the spotlight like that?
Chovy plays for, doesn't he play for Gen?
Oh shoot, that's
Yes.
right. I got
Yeah.
confused.
What a fake
Oh,
fan. Oh
no, I got
my
confused. Wait, low key
God.
though, like, hey, yo, hold on.
Okay, yeah, don't talk, bro. Don't talk.
It's
don't
don't
fucking
they have
talk
wait? It's the
anymore. Yeah,
exact
shut the
same.
fuck
It's
up.
the exact same letters.
They have Scout, but whatever. The guy's name is completely different. It's Scout.
Yeah. Just don't.
But that's
don't.
fine. But if EDG loses today,
No, ADG definitely losing.
we'll do our next podcast drunk as fuck.
No. All right, but that's just any excuse for me to drink alcohol. This is fine.
Alright.
But wait, hold up. Why was I confusing the teams?
I
'Cause
don't
they're the
know.
same colors.
And it's funny because it's not like they're in the same
No,
group.
they're not. At least their fucking logo doesn't look the
No,
same.
no.
They-
I just confused
yeah.
the letters like EDG, G, and like Gen. It's
Isn't
like,
Genji has orange and white?
oh no, they have black and
Orange
orange.
and black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, we have a lot planned for. Well, not a lot.
Not a lot.
We have a decent amount planned for today. Okay.
Yeah, because we don't,
Yeah.
because some reason
Well-
we didn't do our podcast last week.
Listen, it's okay.
We're-
Hey, I said this
Okay, that's
before.
fine, that's fine. We're here to update you guys, regardless.
I said this before,
on
by the way.
What's gaming news? So Worlds started today. All right.
All right.
The Mario movie trailer came out on Wednesday.
Yup.
Big ups for everyone except Matthew. Pokemon dropped another trailer. It's 14
Yes.
minutes long. We're not watching it on stream.
We're not watching
We're on
that.
the
But
podcast.
hey, take our word for it. It's great.
But it was great. They showed auto battle mode. You could just throw your Pokemon at other Pokemon and it'll kill it. You could throw 3 Pokemon at a time in a certain battle aspect of the game. Giraffe Rig finally got an evolution after like 12
Yo,
years.
facts. That
Um,
Pokemon.
Wiglet, great. It's not Diglett, it's Wiglet. What else happened in the trailer? I don't know.
The Ray battle.
The raid battles, that too. They didn't really
the
show
picnic.
anything new. The picnic system. Apparently, there could be an egg in your basket during your picnic.
For
Who
some reason.
knows? Yeah, that makes sense.
just
They also
released
leaked
one.
5 Pokemon in the trailer, but we don't know what they are. That's great. What else? What else gaming related? Overwatch 2 came out, and as most of you know, very shitty launch. Got DDoS attacked twice, which most of us in this call think that was bullshit and it wasn't real and just an excuse because they weren't ready for the influx of players.
I'm gonna be honest.
But
Or they're just saving money to not expand their server because they know that
That's
after
true.
this, the players number gonna drop.
Oh, yeah,
so
bro.
they're
First week-
expecting it, right? So
as of
what I'm saying is that they're saving this money, and then to do, I don't know what they're gonna do. Basically, they're just not gonna spend any, like, their what do you call it, their resources on
It's because
expanding the server
Blizzard
for now.
broke. It's because
But-
Blizzard is.
it's because the Chinese stock market dipped really hard,
Bro, Blizzard.
and we know Blizzard's very China.
Blizzard,
They,
how
they
how,
love
how,
China.
how do you say Blizzard is broke when they announced so many
Facts.
World of Warcraft expansion. Like
Bro,
you have to pay
you know what
subscription.
that is?
but
That's called
they
them
are
being in debt. They took out a loan to get that out.
yeah, because those expansions already existed. It's just remakes.
No.
Right, but the thing is, the monthly subscription is
That's true, that's true.
my
the
theory.
thing.
My theory is that Blizzard is high key broke. They're using their subscriptions as leverage, but they're definitely in debt. Like that's my theory. Like
I think
there's
they
no
were
way.
waiting. I
I
think
mean,
they were waiting for players to buy the battle
Yeah,
pass.
they're
and Overwatch, and then they're like,
exactly.
okay, once they
but
buy it, we'll expand the
hey,
server.
hey. But the thing is, I don't think Overwatch, if they're broke, right, that will make the game cost money.
I guess.
I'm just saying,
They're
like
definitely
there is a
not.
chances that they make the game cost maybe $20, but then you still have to buy the battle pass.
I don't know how a
No,
company
I
like
think
Blizzard,
they would have kept the loot box system if they made it pay. That's why they changed everything.
bro. I'm convinced if like let's see how many games does Blizzard have? Like 7, 8?
They have a bunch.
No,
Yeah,
a
but like
bunch.
yeah, but like the big ones.
Hearthstone, Overwatch,
Like the big ones are like 8 of them. Like
World of Warcraft,
Diablo, World
Star
of
Wars,
Warcraft,
StarCraft,
not
yeah,
the
they
Star-
have yeah.
What's the
Call of
StarCraft.
Duty,
I'm
Starcraft.
convinced if
StarCraft. Right, so
I'm like out of all like 8 of those games that we just mentioned, if World of Warcraft plummeted, Blizzard's no more. GG's. That's my thing. You don't think so?
Hearthstone.
You think Hearthstone makes up a good
Yeah,
amount of?
yeah, no clue how much money
you
they
know what?
spend on it.
Hearthstone does make a lot of money, but it doesn't have that big of a player base compared to
That's the
rest of
thing.
them.
Like, would a company like Blizzard be able to sustain itself with just a player base of Hearthstone? Or
I think with the player base of Overwatch, Hearthstone, and Call of Duty, they could.
oh wait, they have Call of Duty?
And they have
Yes.
I think Activision bought out Blizzard or Blizzard bought Activision.
I'm
one of
sorry,
the
bro.
two.
I'm just a big Blizzard hater. Even though I liked like
Facts.
WoW and
I like
stuff.
their games. Their
Like
games are
yeah,
great.
yeah, it's just I'm just a Blizzard company hater. That you know.
Like, don't get me wrong, I shit on Riot every other
No,
day of
facts,
the week.
facts.
They're a pretty decent company
No,
when
they're
it
a
comes
good
to
company. The fact that I like shit on Riot so much means how it just shows how much I love Riot as a company because like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make up for like the fact that they're actually pretty decent. They listen to
Like-
I mean they've had their scandals, whatever. But
Like, all I'm saying, League of Legends has been free to play for years. Has a loot crate system and a battle pass system. Overwatch couldn't do both.
yeah.
Couldn't do both. They were just like, fuck you. But what else came out gaming related? I think that was it, right?
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, by the
Um,
way, Overwatch 2 servers have been fixed. You can merge your account now. There is a queue time. Everything's good with the game. We give the game a solid 7 out of 10.
Solid.
And
Nothing's
one more
changed,
thing I have to
but
add
it's still
to.
a solid game.
I don't know if you know. CS:GO competition came out recently, like
Oh
a few
yeah.
days ago. I don't remember how long was it. It just came out.
That's why Twitch was so.
Yes, and it's fucking popping. Like,
Oh,
but
yeah.
the thing is, I don't know if you realize what they do is that they are splitting the group. So they do CS:GO A, B, C, D. There are 4 group, and they're playing the same time. So they just shorten the amount of time for you to like you don't have to wait for one team. Like whichever team you like to
You can
watch,
ju-
you
you can
just
just-
jump into it.
Okay. That's
So you
nice.
don't have to
Fast-paced.
like
That's
yeah,
good.
but as you know, right? You know the game is also longer than Valorant, so I think that's the reason why they do that because you have to have like 21
That's true.
win.
Yeah, it's long rounds, and
Yes.
I think they play best of 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing as Valorant too, like BO3 or BO5 stuff like that.
Understandable.
What else? I know
I felt.
this is completely irrelevant to anything, but Sentinel signed second.
Oh yeah, dude. Did you see that Shazam?
That's-
Like he got.
Oh, Shazam got dropped.
No,
he didn't
but
get told anything. Rest in peace.
And he got dropped on stream, or not on stream, but like he saw the
No,
article on stream.
He read a news article on stream. That's crazy.
Yeah. I
It
was
was
like,
bad.
dude,
It
that's
was bad.
so. And everyone in the comments was just like, yeah, he deserves it. Like, oh well.
No, that sucks because as a player, he could have been searching for another team to go to. I think he thought he was secured.
Someone-
They didn't tell him anything, so he
Yo,
couldn't even expand his options.
bruh, someone
So it's
said,
like, bruh.
this is what happens when Shazam takes his comp games more seriously than pro games, and I was like, yeah, like I was like, oh man, that's tough. That is tough. I mean, hey, he still got streaming, so like whatever, he's still making money.
Oh, I know what else happened. Fracture got updated. Great map
Valorant,
now.
Fracture, yes, got updated.
Solid. It's not any better than it was before, but it's nice seeing it's different.
Yeah,
I don't know. I played it one time today. I was like, it's pretty decent, I
Yo,
guess.
A side's kind of yeah. The A
A
side
it's like the one that took the biggest hit
yeah,
on
it
the.
did.
The one
But
with
it
the.
feels different. It doesn't. A
The
side
rope,
doesn't feel like
Are you talking
faster.
about the one with the sand?
They changed.
the
Yeah,
rope.
they changed ropes.
Yes, the
Now it
rope
has that
one.
little
Like if
limitation.
really long, like you can take a long
Drop
peek.
drop isn't like an
Drop
angle
only
thing
one
anymore.
sided.
Like
One sided only.
now it's an extended crevice, so there's like a little dip before you can get on top of the thing.
Yeah, Satellite got an avalanche thrown in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I played today and I don't know what the fuck happened. I went to peek the angle. The bitch came out from this side. I'm like, wait, you can't do that anymore. I'm like,
Yeah. No, but that it
And
doesn't.
and one more thing is, I think it's more defensive side now, like the map, because
it
they
does
make
feel
it
more defensive
and
sided.
they make it really, because back then it was really attackive side, because you can like attack from many
Yeah,
POV,
it
like you
feels
have so many
yeah, it
you have to
feels so
watch.
hard to take space now.
Right. So like now that they make it more defensive side, so then it's really easy for the fan to gain vision on like on
Mhm.
site in general and the spawn.
I think they made B site incredibly easy to attack now compared to how it used to be. A site is definitely the harder site to get on. I don't know
Yeah.
why it feels like that, but that's what it felt like. But that's about it for gaming news, right?
Now for the bulk of
For the bulk.
the bulk, cause that was just a little pre news that we
Appetizer.
want. Yeah,
Well,
an appetizer.
one of our viewers, Laurentini, submitted a clip to our TikTok.
Yeah. I'm a TikTok enthusiast here. I got 20 hours a week on bro, I swear.
I don't know how you do it.
I can't believe you were like, oh, I bet you guys' TikTok time
Bro,
is the
because in a week I thought
Mine?
that wasn't a lot.
I'm sorry, bro, but I barely look at TikTok until George sent me some TikTok.
Yeah.
Then I will look on. Then I will hop on TikTok.
I'll
Otherwise,
lit-
I do not hop on TikTok at
I'll get
all.
on TikTok, see
Jesus
what Gia sent
Christ.
me,
Wait a
and
minute.
then
How long? Wait, the week's not even over, right?
no, you got
No.
till Sunday, buddy. That's when the
Bro,
report
guess
comes
how
out.
many hours I already have on TikTok?
20.
Well, nah, you gotta have
Nah.
like 30 something, 36
No, I actually
20.
don't. For the week?
for the
Yeah,
week.
20.
Yeah, for the
36?
week. No, guys,
36?
come on. I have 13 hours. It's not.
Oh, improvement from last
And
week.
well, the week hasn't finished, dude. The thing is,
That's
the bulk of that time is at nighttime. I get on that TikTok
Oh, yeah,
like
I know.
grind.
I know.
Like,
It's just I can't stay on TikTok for too long.
look at that, bro. I'm on clock 53 minutes. What?
Where's my phone so we can compare?
Like my daily average is 5
'Cause
hours on my phone.
wa-
I
I
spend
was on-
5 hours on my phone every day.
I was on TikTok a lot today.
Okay, the thing is, if I work,
Because I sent you something, bro. How about it?
No, me and Jill were spamming TikToks today. In a week, I only have 6 hours on TikTok, and the bulk of that was literally today.
Where do you see it?
An
What do you
hour
call?
34.
If you go to
well,
screen-
you
Oh,
have an
screen time.
Android.
yeah, screen time.
No, it's called screen time. I have it too.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, it's called
No,
screen
like,
time.
I was saying that you have an Android, but I don't know how to get to it. Very different.
Oh lord.
But yeah, like the chunk of my things is literally YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram,
Yeah. Okay, the
Twitter,
bruh,
Oh, I
Dokkan.
need to go to the.
dude, it's so weird. The bulk is TikTok and YouTube and Safari.
Yeah.
Maps, yo, I
Okay.
spent an hour on my
TikTok, an hour and 90 minutes
In
for
the
this
week or
whole
the day?
week. Last
Bro,
7 days.
bro,
Last 7 days. An
bro,
hour and
bro.
19 minutes.
Hold on.
I don't know how the fuck you guys do that.
Yo, what the fuck?
You got nutty.
The thing is, I literally open TikTok randomly throughout the day, so it just accumulates time.
No, for me, I open TikTok is when I'm so bored that I don't got nothing to do. Remember I sent you like today, right? You know
You sent
why?
me 6, dude. I wake
You know
up,
why?
I open my TikTok, I see 6 TikToks.
Do you know why?
I'm-
I was like, I went to class an hour early. I
Bruh.
got nothing to do.
Bro, you know what?
literally hop on TikTok.
Bro, me and Eddie used to do that a lot. We used to send each other so many TikToks, like ridiculous amounts, and we're like,
And don't mention that the TikTok that he sent me. Sometimes I already watched it, bro.
oh
And
No,
I
same.
yeah,
You sent
Like,
me
you already saw
6.
it.
You sent me 6 too. I didn't see. I was
yeah.
like,
yeah.
Dude, it's. I think it's because we share so many TikToks with each other that our FY or like our For You
Algorithm.
page, our
Oh, algorithm
algorithm
is fucking
I,
insane.
sort of
I've,
figures
I,
it out.
I think I've said it in the past. I
Bro.
didn't start getting Valorant TikToks until
Until I
Gia
sent it.
started sending.
Bro, I'm gonna say right now, my For You page is fucked. Like I go on, bro. It's the most horrendous things you could think of. Like the most down bad. Like and I don't. It's not that
Wait,
I
okay.
asked for it. I don't ask for it.
Do you see? Okay, I don't know if you. This is a little outside, okay, but I don't know if you have seen a TikTok. It's like a Vietnamese girl who used to stream Apex, and she does the funny accent, and she does those horny jokes. You guys didn't get that?
No, well,
No,
I don't get a lot of gaming for some reason.
I get
I-
a lot of gaming and also interview like
I get
outdoor
interviews. I get
outdoor
interviews.
like yeah
Oh, you get those, dude.
yeah.
The thing is, my 40 page is kind of like shifting as we speak. Like it used to be that, now it's just kind of like a thirst trap. Like that's
No.
why I kind of low key want to reset my TikTok. Just like
the only thing that's been spamming my TikTok is a guy called Little Something. I forget his name. He's a blonde kid with a bowl haircut. So funny.
with a bowl.
Like he always every video he's like, "Did you start?"
What the?
I don't know. It's hilarious. He's like, "My
Yo,
step grandma grounded me today."
yo,
Oh,
our 40
God.
pages are so different. What? Like,
And I
hold on.
also get rap for some reason. Like I don't know if
I
you
get a
see
lot
it,
of rap.
that does it on the in the studio, like they show that
Yeah.
they
Oh,
record their
dude,
music
I
and
always
stuff.
get these. I get like the podcast like type of videos with the
No, I don't.
subtitles. I get
I barely.
My favorite one is the one where I get of these two dudes that do like a draft, and then they'll start draft. Like today, I saw one where they were drafting cookies, and then they'll go back to back and like rate each other's draft picks, and then have the comments decide the draft. I
Okay,
never.
a question. Do you guys follow a lot of people?
No.
No.
No? Okay, I think that makes a pretty big difference. I
Right.
follow
The way
180
that
people.
the way that TikTok does is that when you
Yeah,
follow somebody, right, and that they put up the new post, you're gonna see
You
it
have to go to
on your For
follow.
You.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think mine has a lot of like
You don't have to go into following, George. For you, it would just show up.
I go into following. It doesn't show up on my For You. I have to scroll.
yeah, no, there's there's the following and the For You, but on the For You I get the following exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But I
you
think
get
it
it too.
but I
if
think
you
it's
don't go
because
into
of the
following.
sheer amount of
Yeah,
people that
you
I
have a
follow.
lot.
Yeah,
Dude,
I just follow
I-
people that I think, oh,
I-
that's interesting.
I literally followed Mr. Beast, TheFold, and Sneeko. That's about it. That's my whole following.
Oh, I have a
I don't
I
follow
problem.
literally don't follow
anything.
anyone else
I got a
except you
problem.
guys. Except you guys, obviously. But following your friends that don't post TikToks is like irrelevant.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
But I literally only technically follow 3 people, and I don't even ever go to the following page. And
No,
Sneeko got banned off TikTok.
I definitely never go to the following page, but the For You page is just filled with a lot of just weird videos.
Stop looking at it, bro.
No, I'm
Yo,
looking
yeah,
at the Vietnamese
getting-
guy
Alright.
or the
he's getting
South Korean
suspect.
guy that got arrested for murdering his roommate in Purdue University.
Oh, did you guys see that OPAC? I saw this on TikTok. TikTok's a great app for many things.
Mhm.
OPAC or OPEC, whatever the fuck they're called, the one
OPAC.
that
Yes.
owns
The
most of
one
the
that-
Oh, the
Oil.
90%, bro. Yes.
Organization Pet
talked today.
Patrol, something like that.
Dude,
Patrol.
90% of the world's
Yeah.
oil was in that room. Like that's
Yep.
wild.
And now they're trying to increase gas prices. So
I
I'm
mean-
just saying.
You know why that does that? Okay, so I was in the business class, financial class today. It's talking about it. Basically, it's that the reason why they try to increase the oil price is to not to step back, because the federal telling them you gotta have to lower the gas price because of the inflation. But if OPEC decided to step down and then actually lower the gas price, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna lose power. They're gonna lose credibility.
Oh, 100%.
So they have to like fight back, and from fighting back is that increasing the gas price. That's the
Yeah.
whole reason behind it.
But they're not even directly increasing it. All they did was
Right.
decrease the the amount of oil they're making a day.
Yeah, like
But this is what
2 million barrels.
But this is supply shock, basically supply shock. So
Yeah.
basically, what it does is that it still increase the price no matter what. But they're
Fuck
trying to
those
do
guys.
it legally, like basically like you're telling us to
Fuck.
decrease the price. Okay, yeah, sure, we'll decrease it, but guess what? We're gonna decrease the
Man.
supply
Fuck.
too.
Fuck
On
those
the
guys.
other side of the world, North Korea launches 2 missiles in the Sea of Japan.
I saw it already.
Bro, I swear to
I fucking
God,
saw it already.
it like, how are we not going into nuclear war at this point? Like,
Bro, no one wants to go into because if we go into nuclear war, everyone's fucked.
no one but Putin.
Not
You, bro.
not even Putin, because
Yo,
Putin's had the button for years.
I'm sorry, bro. This video CPI like CPM is like RPM is just gonna be down the fucking drain.
Our retention, is already
is already
Oh
gone.
no, our
We're
retention.
talking
you can
about
see it.
we're talking about
But I don't-
Russia. Like, this is
But I
the
don't regret
worst.
see it though. Apparently China is like kind of don't want to work with Putin anymore.
Dude, of course not. That guy's evil as fuck.
Bro, like they're like China's like
apparently China is getting resources from like South Africa or somewhere. Like they stopped getting the
Bro,
the gas from the
because
Bro,
China's
from
messed
the
up, but they're
Russia.
like, yo, Putin, you gotta chill out, bro. Like we
Yeah,
had a deal
like-
here. You...
like China is like here, right?
Yeah.
And then you got Russia. Like,
And they're like,
this-
whoa, hold on.
oh, on some good news also about Russia. Russia's kind of getting pushed back into their borders.
Oh
Ukraine.
yeah, I did hear.
Hopefully,
Yes.
Ukraine's doing well. Shout out
Also,
Ukraine.
more
Support
current
Ukraine.
events. Have y'all heard about that California serial killer? Like,
There's
No.
a serial killer, bro.
dude, there's a serial killer, and guess who you start getting?
female.
Hispanic males, bro. Oh my
Wait, what?
god,
Oh
dude,
my
it's so bad, bro. His
Is there any reason behind it that they said?
so his frenzy. So okay, so a
Wait,
little
they know
quick-
who's the serial killer already?
No, they do not.
Oh no, they know his patterns.
They know his
apparently.
So
Okay.
in forensics, so there's a in criminal justice, there's like a term called like a frenzy. So it's
Uh-huh.
basically like when serial killers or when mass murderers, when they have like a pattern, and that
Uh-huh.
pattern starts to get like more and more
Obvious.
no, not obvious, but like the amount of time between killings starts getting like shorter and shorter. This
Uh-huh.
guy was killing like a month to month. Now he's doing it like days to days. Like, it's
That means
getting bad.
he's getting better. He's getting better.
That
bro.
means he's getting, but it's also like a psychological thing because they start to want to do more due to like compulsions and stuff like that. It's a whole thing, and it's like, bro,
like a dopamine thing that they get high. and
probably.
stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
I'm not like I don't study this thing, but
Yeah,
it really
you're not a
isn't.
serial killer either.
Yeah,
Alright, by the
I'm-
way, modern news right now, T1 won.
Oh,
I said
Wait.
it, bro.
Wait, the ending? The
Uh-huh.
ending? They won.
I said it. I said it. I saw the Yumi pick. It was over.
The
They lost
Yumi
the
and the
draft. They lost
silver.
the
The
draft.
Yumi and the silver. You don't let it that shit slide, bro. Never.
You saw the faker smirk. It was over. It was
You
over.
never let the Yumi and silver slide like that, bro. GT. Okay, so drunk podcast next time, GG.
Oh yeah, drunk podcast. Hey, we'll see you next week for that.
can we even show
Um,
alcohol on stream?
Dude, that serial killer shit is crazy. We don't have to show it on stream.
We don't have to show it.
But I think if we're 21, we can, and we are.
Yeah,
we are.
that's true.
We are.
All right, but no, serial
that's
killer
serial
thing is crazy. I saw that and I was like, yo, like we have wait, because you forget that they're like modern serial killers. Like,
Dude,
you forget.
sometimes in my head, I'm like, yeah, dude. At least we don't have like 50, 30 of them all at once.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Like,
true.
like think about it. Back in the day, you had like serial killers. You had
I feel like in the
I forget-
70s and
I-
80s.
I forget everyone's fucking name. You
Hell.
had the Night Stalker.
Oh,
You had that one guy, the famous one with the writing on the fucking thing. Already forgot his name.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're
You
talking about.
Can we say his name? Like I don't remember it. I need a reminder.
What, the guy who like was who
From
were-
the Andrew Schultz joke.
Oh,
Forget
Ted
his
Bundy?
name. Ted Bundy. There we go. Thank you.
Oh.
Then you got Jeffrey Dahmer. Those
Yeah.
all definitely happened around the same time.
No,
Like-
they did. They happened like
They did.
70s, 80s. Like, it was wild.
Yeah.
It
and that's just naming 3 that have documentaries. Like
is wild.
serial
It
killers
is.
back in the day were nuts.
But you know what? It's because back then they could get away with smoking in airplanes. Like, that's not a real correlation there, but like just to give you an idea of what you can get away
Yeah.
with.
Now you got
Now-
cameras on your fucking ring door.
Well, 'cause, you
Now
know-
I eat a sticker
'cause, you
bar
know-
wrong, and the PSA has me up the like they're like, yo, what are you? I'm like, dude, like give me a break.
It's a 9/11 thing, bro. Like
No, there's a
9/11, they get but a lot of stuff is that it has to happen. Then the rule gets stricter. Like
Yeah.
back then, internet is not this crazy. Then not this
Yeah,
strict. You can
that-
say whatever
dude.
you want. But then after thing happened, and then now it just gets stricter and it gets stricter.
In the 80s, no one wanted to know like certain things, so they just
Right,
they
because
just
everyone's just busy on their own life and stuff. Like they're trying to
And when
improve the
there's
society
no-
and stuff.
And to be fair, like being a serial killer, like this is probably like a skit, like a bit. But being a serial killer in the modern era is the worst occupation you could take. Like, imagine in like you like this guy right now. He's basically gotten filmed to some
Yeah.
extent.
It's just his back though.
Like, it's-
but I bet you the internet's already on it.
Oh, 100%. They already know who.
There's a Reddit thread going on.
Yeah.
People are trying to find the guy's address.
Oh my
They're looking at the hoodie. They're like, wait, I recognize that hoodie. They search
Yeah.
up the website.
It's
They
the
probably know
brand or
everything.
something like that, yo.
Yeah,
And then they
dude.
go from the brand, they go to the put payment history and stuff. Like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Probably a bunch of shit like that. It's nuts. But that's nuts. A serial
Mm.
killer in modern day, I always think like, damn, ain't no
That's-
we don't have that many serial killers.
No, that's tough.
Like, dude,
don't
those
get me
guys have
wrong.
like great
Yeah.
skill though.
Dude, dude,
To not be
able
getting
get away
caught
with
that
shit like
easily.
Nah, in the modern day, nah, you're nuts.
You gotta be like different. Like,
Like forensic has been so improved it, like technology and stuff. Like the
Yeah.
fact that you still haven't like
I'm surprised, but you know what? They're not like. It's all like, I feel like if it was like, what's it called, passionate killings, like with like knives and stuff, but not, and like this guy's just murdering with guns. Like, he's just one bullet to the head, boom, you're done. Now, I'm not saying it's like, oh my god, it's easier, but it's a little different than.
I mean, I feel like serial killers back in the day they just had more passion.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like cold heart killing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
would you say it's more accessible in modern day or back then?
what?
To kill.
Like, yeah.
No, I'm just
First-
saying,
I
like,
mean,
back
I
then.
think it was definitely easier back in the day. That's why I think people were
No,
more
not easy,
passionate.
but more accessible.
I think because we have guns now. Okay, if we didn't have guns now, there would be no serial killers. Like, you can't kill somebody
No,
by
yeah, you can.
strangling them and just keep it and just not get caught. Like, I feel like that's kind of hard.
I
As
think,
opposed to, like,
I
guns?
think it's different because guns existed back in Ted Bundy's time.
100%. But were they as accessible?
I think it was just yes, of course they were probably way
Easier.
more.
Really?
They're way easier. They're way easier.
Yes.
But right
Accessible.
now,
Guns-
you could go to a guns like shop and
No,
get it.
But the thing is, Matt, think about it. You can go to a gun shop right now, but most of the time you're still gonna need a license, a carrier license. Back in like these are restrictions that are being put on as we go on.
I need a carry license to commit murder. Like, there's no, I'm
because
not,
guns aren't supposed to be for murder.
Well, right. Hey,
Like,
listen.
The reason there's so many people
You
that
drop a
own
20?
guns is because a lot of their guns are 20 for a gun, man.
No. You drop a 20 to the guy and be like, listen, I'm pretty sane, all right? Don't like 100, okay? You give him 100. It's like, hey, listen, I really need this gun, okay?
No, he can't. He can't do
I
that
really
because
need
there's
this
camera
gun.
and stuff.
No,
like,
well, it depends.
I'm pretty sure like most killings that happen, like mass shootings and shit like that, the person has either possessed a gun before, like as of recent times, the person has had to have had the gun because
Right.
as more shit like this comes out, I'm pretty sure guns are like the most regulated thing in America, like more regulated than the people. Like they have 100 and something laws on guns.
That you cannot take out a gun easily if that like you
Yeah.
have to have a license something like
You-
that,
you-
and
it
then
has to-
you cannot bring certain
Bro,
extended
bro,
like
you
have
gotta-
to
It has to be hidden.
All you gotta
there's so
have
much
to get a
shit.
license is
carry the gun
is-
outside your
is-
house, like outside
is-
territory.
is a dad that smokes a little too much weed and then he gives you his gun. That's what you need to get a gun.
Yeah, or you know where the gun is in your house and you know the code for it, or like they don't have it in a lock. Like there's a bunch of shit that people can access guns if they have one in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, and
But-
the
And-
guy.
And guess what though? And guess what? I'm so sorry to say this, but farmer is the easiest way to get gun.
A
Occupation
farmer?
wise. Yes. The reason why they give it to
Because
you
you need
not
it, right?
right, but not just that. Is that okay? Sometimes because of the snake and stuff, like there are animal back then that was hidden. Like I don't know. So what happened is that my dad has a farm, right? And then he used to have a dog. And then what they do is that they either poison, because they had a few dogs before, so they either poison the dog or they shoot the dog. And then they climb over and then they grab the whatever is in the farm.
Okay.
So and then in order to defend yourself, they say that because now then it's so easy to access the gun. So then they say the dog is not that great helper anymore because it's easy to like one shot one death. So,
Right.
yeah, so like they give out guns, but not the heavy gun stuff, like So it's still like
Not like
it's still easy to access.
not the
to it,
shotguns.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, that would be insane.
And the serial killer, he uses the same gun, same bullet, which is kind of like, I'm sorry, but that's a little. You're a sloppy killer if you're trying to use the same.
But isn't a lot of serial killer usually came from like a low occupation, like low income occupation?
I think a lot of
that is true.
That is a typical stereotype.
That is true.
Most serial killers just come from a bunch of trauma. Like there's so much shit. Like they just get into the position, like a low income position, because they don't aspire to do anything.
If anything,
and then when they're at their lowest, that's when they just decide
I've never seen a successful serial killer that just happened to kill.
Ted Bundy was mad successul.
Was he?
He was even a politician.
I thought he was a college student.
Mad successful.
Or like,
well, he had a wife, he had a kid.
Dahmer was low key like a deadbeat. Like that guy didn't.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like there has to be some trauma. Like it depends because there's a lot of things that could lead to a serial killer.
Yeah.
But most serial killers have like some sort of like thing in their mind from their childhood that just really fucked them up, and they never grew up.
That whole like compulsion thing really like it's very like interesting when I hear like, oh, it's a and they seem so like aware that it is a compulsion.
But, okay,
and
but the thing is that I don't know if you realize it. There are serial killers that doesn't kill until years.
Oh, okay, but okay. So wait. I actually watched a documentary. Okay, well, not documentary. I watched like a lot of things about this. So, being a sociopath is what is. So you can be born a sociopath. That's what it is, right? I'm pretty sure you can be born a sociopath.
Apparently, it's a gene.
Right. The sociopath. You only become a psychopath when there's like certain things that like there are certain things that make you a psychopath. But when you said that like I like all these people, they're all sociopaths. They're not psychopaths. Like I don't think that's how that works, right? Because I don't really know the exact like thing that makes them a psychopath. Like I don't know what the criteria.
I think a psychopath might not have a. I'm not even gonna say because I don't know what it is.
But what you said about like, oh, most psychopaths don't kill for many years. There are 1 out of 10 people, and like just as a statistic, are sociopaths, which means
right. But what I'm saying is that there are some like you said compulsion. Yeah, exactly. So, but the thing is, there are people that satisfy it for a year. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Like manipulation and like there's other things. Like you don't have like these sociopaths. This 1 out of 10 statistic that's out there. These are people that are in everyday life. Some of them are aware that they're like this and they try to control it. Some of them have normal lives. They just don't have the same like empathy and sympathy as we do, but they try to live their lives. If they're brought to the point of killing, it's probably because they've been through a lot. Most of them can go through life without killing, and they're just like a little off, or like a little weird. They have wives, they have kids, and then that's how it's passed up through like genes and stuff. But like most of them just go through life normally. The ones that don't are the ones that we hear about, and then those turn out to be like, and then I think giving into that compulsion is what ends up being like psychotic and blah blah. I'm not too sure about this, but like I know that for sure. The first thing I said was right.
Yeah, but compulsion can happen to anybody. Like that girl in like the Orlando shit that happened recently because of a Valorant and
that's like I feel like that's something else. Like that has to be something else.
But that's compulsory.
But like
that's at the moment because she called the cops on herself. Like she clearly at the moment it was a compulsion. She
that's
felt a
gotta be
certain
some
way.
mental
Boom,
illness.
boom, boom.
Like that's
Yeah,
gotta
but
be some. Huh?
isn't aren't most sociopaths or most serial killers like have some mental
Yeah,
disability?
well, no, they all
Like
do. Well, that's
even
not
when they
true,
act,
actually.
even no. But I'm saying like
But
they
the
have to have
compulsion lasts really well because some serial killers are really good at hiding. Like I don't know,
no. Because
like they're
I
really
don't.
good at planning.
The thing is, I don't think every serial killer does it from compulsion. Like I think most serial killers are smart enough to like know what
I
they're
mean, they
doing.
won't be called serial killer. They would be just called murder. If it's because the reason why
Yeah,
is that serial killer
I
is
mean,
have a
but
sustained
I mean,
and
think
they're
of.
really well planned. It.
I mean, it comes
no,
from the word
that's what I
serial.
mean.
Like,
Because a murder is someone who does it once. When you do
right?
it more than once,
It's serial.
then you're
Like
serial.
that. I mean,
That's the difference. Like they both think the same. Like you can call a gang member a serial killer because if a gang member is killing a bunch of other gang oppositions, they're
yeah.
technically a serial killer.
Well, the whole idea of like the serial phrase, like there's like there's another phrase called like serial something, or like oh yeah, like well, I'm not gonna say it, but like a serial SA or like serial R. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Those are people that just do repeat like the keyword is the repeated offense. If you do it
Yeah,
multiple
yeah.
times, you're a serial offender.
Offender.
Yeah. So yeah, murder just once, and that whole compulsion is it's weird because some of them
It's
don't. You're right.
maybe some of them start from compulsion.
Then what about slaughter?
Manslaughter, like that's
Ma- ma-
murder
no, but manslaughter is different because I
because
think
there's
manslaughter is by
degrees.
accident.
Oh,
Like
is it?
I'm pretty sure because if you hit someone with your car, for example, and you didn't mean to do it on purpose, you committed
Wait,
manslaughter.
but aren't there
I think
degrees?
I know, but I think that depends on the amount of people because I think murder is with intent. I think manslaughter is without intent.
Okay, that's
I think that's the
I think that's
difference.
correct. I'm dude. I haven't been in forensics in like since high school, so all these
Yeah.
terms are just kind of like. But I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah, look, the manslaughter is the crime of killing a human being without malice, afterthought. So they
Gotcha.
didn't mean to kill the person. It just
Yeah,
happened by accident.
yeah. That makes sense.
But I'm pretty sure most serial killers have to start from a compulsion. Like they like if I've only seen like 2 episodes of the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, but his mom clearly had a lot to do with it. That
Yeah.
bitch kept saying you're a fucking weirdo. You're
Yeah.
disgrace to the family. Then his parents kicked him
I
out the house.
think,
Like
look,
he was at the lowest of the low before he decided, and he didn't even hide the body parts.
I'm
The
pretty
motherfucker kept them
sure
all in his apartment.
I'm
Like,
pretty
dude,
sure if Dahmer like would have grown up in a semi decent household, he would have 100% still had these compulsions, but I think they either one
they-
might have appeared later in life or they would have been repressed like his
yeah,
dad's. Like
No, or maybe a compulsion on something else instead
on
of just
something
murder.
else,
Like
yes. Like
yeah,
but to be fair, he was also an avid drinker, so he would drink a
yeah.
lot and
But and I think a lot of it stemmed from like just his family because his mom he started drinking because his mom called him a piece of shit weirdo, and then his dad started neglecting him. Then he went to his grandma's house and he's gay, and then his grandma's like, "You should get a girlfriend. You should get a girlfriend,"
mhm.
and he can't come out to anybody. Like he's just repressing every single emotion. And then the second he got the chance, boom, it exploded. And then he just kept doing it because it made him feel good.
I think it's
It's the only
weird.
thing in life that made him
Well,
feel
it
good.
was definitely like a compulsion and like a sexual type of way as well.
Yeah.
I think Gia's right. He probably would have found an obsession with something because a lot of people have compulsive like natures, but they don't necessarily go towards like mass murder, and especially not like necrophilia
Mhm.
and cannibalism as Dahmer did. But like they might go into like heavy drinking, heavy drug use.
right, like smoking and stuff
They
like
might have
that.
like a high and like a god complex. So they might have all these things that are just as bad, or well, not just as bad, that are
Biting the
pretty bad.
nail.
Yeah, like there are people that are like in corporate, like just very high level
Yeah.
of success, and they're sociopaths. Like they, but they keep it
Yeah.
under control because they can like,
Yeah.
they have so much
Or,
power and influence.
or like they learned how to direct like their like compulsions into a different
Into
field.
yeah, into other shitty
Like
things.
like I think like Jeffrey Dahmer is so obsessed with the body, but like that motherfucker literally without the trauma, he literally just could have been like a veterinarian.
Dude, no, imagine
been a
if you would have
doctor.
dude, no, imagine if you would have like gone into like the morgue. Like that would have
Yeah.
been a great like I mean, granted that a little sus, but like, hey, I mean, if you're gonna do something to bodies,
I'm pretty sure most serial killers are just like completely disconnected from reality. Like their understanding of reality is like literally nothing I do matters. Like it's live die. Like
yeah,
nothing matters at this point. So I might as well go out like just swinging.
yeah.
But this serial killer just seems to be like, I don't know why is he killing Hispanics.
That yes, bro. Okay,
They,
it's
you know what?
it's his
You know
model.
what? They could have taken his job.
No, 100%. I heard, and this
Modern day
isn't
problem.
confirmed, but they it's more likely that they're all Mexicans, and it makes sense because
shit.
it's California.
They're in California. That's what I'm saying. In like this is a South Park joke, but like most in South Park, they're taking our jobs, you know. So I wouldn't be shocked if like maybe he lost his job because they were just like.
I mean, it's definitely like a grudge thing. He definitely has.
Because what like you need a motive to target a demographic.
Yeah.
Like that. That's just my.
If not, you would just kill anybody.
Like Ted Bundy could have killed anybody, but he chose women in specific.
Women in college too. Like, well, I think that's because he had like a, you know.
Yeah. Like most serial
the ease
killers
of
have
access.
like.
Yeah.
But let's go on. Yeah.
Huh?
Go. Finish your statement.
I was gonna say like people would also like say that about Dahmer and like his African, like how he would target a gay.
Gay black dudes.
Yeah, gay black dudes. But the reality is like, I mean, it could have been that, but also like I think he just lived in those areas because he was poor. Like
yeah.
But then again, like I'm not too sure because at the same time he did have like white victims, like but that was like in the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange to me because Jeffrey Dahmer, he it's so weird because especially with his last victim, like these people didn't think he was weird at first. It's when he started asking if he was weird, and when he started going closer and closer, and he started doing shit that just made him weird. I don't know. Like there were clearly people that were willing to like be his friend. The motherfucker just couldn't get rid of his old ways, I guess. But on a lighter note, can we finally watch the TikTok?
Yeah, so that kind of got a little dark. We were actually trying to just watch. Well, it wasn't gonna get dark, but it was gonna get interesting because we were gonna watch a TikTok. We're gonna watch two TikToks. One is the original clip, and then the next one's gonna be the response to that clip, which I watched, and I was like, you know, this seems like a pretty good topic.
It had some good points and it had some bad points.
Yeah, so we're gonna first watch it. It's 37 seconds, I think. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and watch this.
I did not watch the original one.
That's fine, perfect. Okay, so this one is you guys will see it in just a minute, but it's basically immigrant mom's opinion on anxiety and depression. All right, hold on.
This generation fucked up. Each one have depression,
Is that the original
taking
one, right?
pill,
Yeah.
and anxiety
Can I hear
attack. I grew up in 13 brothers and sisters. Every night
can
I
I hear it?
ask
He's
my
not sharing
mother
it exactly
where I'm
with you.
sleeping today.
Oh.
Today in the
Oh,
bed,
you
can I hear
guys
it?
can't
in
hear
the
it,
floor.
right?
No. I don't
Okay.
even think the stream can hear it.
Nah, if Matthew can hear it, the stream can probably hear it.
Yeah, they can hear it. The problem, what I would do is I would go on TikTok and watch it like with me because I can
Hold on, play it so I see if it can you hear it. Like I need to make sure the audience.
The floor. What I'm doing today,
Yeah.
I coming in grade 2, 3, 4. So
Yeah,
today
okay.
you're doing all your
Yeah, so
Because I need
basically,
to go on TikTok to hear it, bro. Like, oh my god, dude, fucking hate
because
you guys.
if
I hate you guys. I
I
hate
can
you guys. I
share
just hate
the
fucking
other
you guys.
screen.
I mean,
hate you guys.
okay. Just play it out, and I'll give you the synopsis of what she says.
Yeah,
just
so-
play it. Just
yeah,
play it.
yeah.
I'll give you the
dishes.
synopsis. I already know
Tomorrow
what she
you
said.
put the laundry. Every day I have something to do. I can say, oh, I grew up, I have so much depression. I have so much anxiety attack. Come on. We're supposed to have depression and attack. Every day I don't know if we have food and what we eating, what we don't eating, where we sleeping, or what the parents maybe beat us, or the brother beat you, or the neighbor beat you.
Okay, so we're gonna stop right there for a minute. But basically, I mean, George can say it, but yeah, go for it.
Basically, what the mom says is that every kid nowadays has anxiety and depression, and back in her day, that didn't exist. Like she had to wake up, she had to do the laundry, she had to do. Her mom was constantly
She
moving
had
her to different spots.
13 brothers and sisters, like or whatever.
Like like she was in such like a poverty-driven lifestyle. She didn't have time to be depressed, so she was constantly doing something. And she says that depression is just like it's not real. Like these kids are just being depressed to be depressed.
Yeah,
That's,
and this
that's
is
all she's saying.
and this is like coming from an immigrant mom, right? So she, you know, the struggle and stuff. And now
Yeah.
this video, so this one's a little longer, so I would suggest watching this one like live as well, because this
Yeah.
one is it's like 2 minutes. So search up. So just
That's fine. I'll send the link in the.
perfect. Yeah, send it, and then I'll start it, and then I'll tell you exactly when I press play.
Let me just get it real quick.
And we'll watch it the whole thing through, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
I put it in the admin chat, Gia. Let me know when you started, Matt.
Yeah, I'll count down as soon as everyone's ready. Ready?
You got it, Gia?
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Alright,
Three. I'll start on 1. 3, 2, 1.
This generation fucked up. Each one have depression, taking pill and anxiety.
Okay, this is the first TikTok where I've had to redo this a few times, and only because I can't hold it back. This is the problem with immigrant parents, okay, is that they're so hell-bent on their own ways, and they think old is gold, okay? The reason why our generation has to take medicine or go to counseling and this and that is because we're breaking the trauma that you've handed down to us. And this annoying thing, especially in my culture, where it's like, oh, my mother's a strong woman because she took all the abuse from my father. That's not a strong woman. That's just a woman who had to take it and endure it. And so you hear this conversation all the time with everyone's getting divorced now. Good, because people now have the freedom to get out something that's not serving them. My mother, when I was a kid, I remember she was slamming plates on the floor saying, I can't take it anymore. Obviously, now that I've grown up, I realized, damn, that marriage was definitely hard on her. My grandmother was beaten by her husband every day. My father had to witness that stuff. And then my father carried that on, he never once touched my mum, but like beating his own kids. So this thing always trickles down. And yes, it will get to a stage where one generation will be like, enough is enough. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to put the work in. And I don't even know why I'm getting upset. And this is the problem, is that we have this thing where it's like old is gold, or everyone's messed up, this new generation, so we can soften. No, we're not. We're just putting in the work. We're fixing things, which is hard. I'll be honest with you right now. It's very easy to punch someone, to hit someone, to get mad. It's very hard to just sit there and think, what do I need to do next? And every counseling session I go to, there's so many moments where I'm like, my father should be here. This shouldn't be me. That I have to take on all this responsibility and all of this pain to fix the problems that they caused. And this is what immigrant parents do. Yes, it's beautiful. It's great. You guys gave us so much. But you guys also have to accept that you've given us this bad thing as well. And she goes on her post about, oh, I had 13 brothers and sisters and I would ask my mum, where would I sleep? Is that normal? Is that a good thing? No, obviously not. A respective and a responsible parent wouldn't have too many kids that they couldn't look after, to the point where their own child has to then ask, am I sleeping on the floor today or on the bed? That's not a flex. So this is the thing, and I hate this because so many young people are going to watch this and be like, oh, I need to be more grateful. Yes, be grateful to your parents. My parents are amazing. But also you have to acknowledge that there are things that they have done wrong, and they need to look into that. And I honestly hate posts like this, because if my father wasn't as stuck in his old ways, I think I still have a dad. And I apologize. I didn't think this TikTok would be that hard to do, but yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that was basically the TikTok. All right, let me close this. So yeah, any thought? I mean, when I saw this, I was like, oh, this will make a pretty good, not only episode, but like I like watching stuff like this because there's actually a lot of videos like tagging this one mom. Like there's a lot of them. This is just the one that was like the most popular one.
Yeah.
But there's everyone's saying, oh, this woman's ignorant. Like oh, of course you'd say that. Like, you know, it's that whole joke of like, oh, back in my day we used to climb a mountain to go to school. It's like, bro, like.
But
it's the same thing.
Is.
We're starting.
There's like two sides to this.
Well, we're starting already.
Well, yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
There's like two sides to this, because the mom brings up good points. You get me? Like depression is an extreme privilege. Like in third world countries where she came from and other people are experienced to this day. This is not, the guy says it's an old golden age way. No, this mentality still exists.
Right.
Every immigrant that comes into this country is going to have the same mentality as the mother,
Right.
because they have nothing. If they're depressed and they just sit in bed all day, they're going to
They'll get
stay in
that.
the same position their whole life. So they don't have an opportunity to be depressed. Like
Yeah.
a lot of what happens with us, I can sit in my bed all day and call myself depressed.
But you still survive.
Because of my parents, because they have put a foundation where I can survive and be able to be in a room with my emotions for a couple seconds, be able to take it down. Now, I've been learning about medications and all that shit recently because of my global health class, and medication is dog shit.
Right.
They should not.
Agreed.
Like prescribing medications to children for depression, ADHD, bipolar disorder at ridiculously young ages, like 8 and below. Even you shouldn't be taking meds, period, till you're like
Yeah.
18. Like you don't have the mind frame to like be taking meds for depression, ADHD, bipolar. You don't, as a kid, you don't even understand what that is yet, and that is frustrating. So when he says you have to take medications, don't. It's better to learn how to deal with your shit. Like he does something good. He goes and talks to a therapist. Like if you need to talk to someone and air it out,
And that's the thing.
do that.
The
Besides meds.
as good as therapy is, people are the one thing I always hear, therapy is so expensive. Listen, maybe okay, I think people like I love the idea of therapy, and of course like you know, you do that with a professional. But I wonder sometimes if people want a therapist or if they just want somebody to listen somebody to talk to, or somebody to just vent out to, because I can sit here and vent out to you guys, and just venting, you guys don't have to even reciprocate anything. If I just vent out everything, I'll feel better afterwards. I mean, it won't be a permanent solution, and it never will. That's the whole idea of therapy. You keep going forever. Like, it's not just like okay, I'm gonna go for 5 months and then I'll be cured. Like, there's no cure for depression. That's what people have to understand about all this. There's no cure for anything. It's just making it a little better at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a state of mind. You can literally, if you don't want to be depressed, do something that doesn't make you depressed.
And that's hard to say,
that's
but
hard to say, and that's hard to find.
Yeah.
Like, and Andrew Tate had the same opinion as this lady, and it's a reason why he got canceled off the internet, because he said depression's not real. He believes in depression, but it's being stuck in a moment of depression and letting yourself be depressed is worse than just going out of your way to not be depressed. That mother, she probably could have stayed in her room, been depressed, wherever she picked to sleep with her 13 relatives. She could have just stayed in a room and been depressed, done what her mother told her, but she actively had to go out of her way constantly. Her mom didn't let her sit in a room and be depressed. Most parents nowadays will let you do that, will let you go through that. I think the best way to do this,
but I think it's, I'm sorry to interrupt,
no,
but I
no,
think
you're good.
I think this came back to a fundamental human being, is that I don't, because I bet you guys have heard of this before, is that human have to first satisfying is the basic need, right? Like the food, the water, the oxygen, the health, your shelter. Then you move on to emotional stuff, right? But this is the state where she was at the state where she had to fight for the basic stuff, the fundamental. Exactly.
Yeah.
So then she don't have the luxury to go on to the next step to where to enjoy the emotional stuff. Like because right now modern day is that the basic need is already satisfied. No matter who you are, like no matter how poor you are satisfied that condition. But then after that is that the emotional part, where are you satisfied your emotional? Because if you don't, is where you get depressed, you get all the mental disorder and stuff like that. Is that when nowadays it's easier to access to that level than back then. Like, because you don't have the luxury to access that level yet.
You
so now,
you literally just reminded me that of that whole, like, being busy as, like, in that case of survival, being busy makes you know how people are always like
distracted.
Oh yes, distractions. Like people are always like, oh, if you're feeling down, get a hobby,
distract yourself.
in that case of survival, that's why she wasn't depressed, because she was
understand
so
her point of
busy.
view, right?
Right, she was
We
so
all
busy trying to
understand her point of view.
survive. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the issue with, like, it's not everybody, but there's a large
Right.
portion of the population that, of course, the ones that are talking about depression and anxiety as like a big thing. The reason why they're probably thinking that way is because they're not busy enough, or they don't have distractions. They have so much, like, I guess, free time or freedom that they let these things sort of
Just thought,
get,
just thought and
because
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, it's work
Yeah.
and life is overwhelming, and overwhelming is fine, and sometimes it can get a little out of hand, and there needs to be like a balance. But and I've had moments of like of anxiety and stuff, but it's never gone to a point
But
where
I
I've,
mean, why do you think philosopher is so free? Like they don't got anything to do. They just sit there and think about questions.
that's also because when philosophers was an actual occupation, uh you could, I mean,
You sit there and
I'm
think.
literally
You
just thinking of
sit
like
there and
Greek
think.
times. I'm
You
literally
literally
just
just sit there
yeah.
and think.
But you
Like
also
Socrates was basically a mathematician. Philosophy is basically math.
no facts.
It's just in words.
But like
Yeah, you inventing something when sitting
Mhm.
doing nothing.
no, sure,
The-
but like
but-
they didn't have to worry about like
Mhm.
rent. Like, I mean,
They don't
did,
have
but
to
like
because they're getting paid. They're satisfied their basic need
yeah.
already. So
That's
what they
true,
do
that's
is that they
true.
go on to investing like new stuff, like what is fucking like what is mental? Like, do we even have those things?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
the thing is, I don't think, like, no diss to this guy. I don't think he realizes that, like, depression doesn't exist in the lower class either. Like, if you're in the lower class of like a first world country, you don't have time to be depressed,
Right.
especially like
You
in
really
like
don't.
in ghetto neighborhoods. Those guys are fighting for survival every day. If they're on the street and they have oppositions, like they're in a gang, these guys are constantly fighting for survival. They constantly have to watch the way they move, the way they act,
Alert.
who's around them. They constantly have to. If they're depressed and stay at home for like even a
They're dead.
second, if the ops pull up to your house and just run by and shoot, you're done.
It's just
So they constantly have to be on high alert.
listen,
This
I hate to
is like
say
a
it.
middle class to like high class problem.
I hate to say it, but it really does feel like depression is a problem for the privileged. Like, even though it's not all the time,
Because
but
it is.
It feels that way.
Because go.
No, and just like the people that complain about it, or not complain, well, they are complaining, but they're also they're also venting and
They're
expressing.
venting,
Yeah,
but it's something they hold in. You get me? Like this guy, he literally vented and he almost cried at the end of the video.
yeah.
But I bet you like
That
he
made him
probably
feel
felt
good.
better
Yes.
posting it and saying it
Yes.
than just keeping it to himself. And I bet most people that are like reposting this lady's TikTok are doing the same thing.
Also,
they're probably feeling great right after.
Also, this is not like downplaying trauma at all, because he clearly has trauma from like his mother and father, who like he was all I saw him reference more his father than his mother, and and I feel like that's because in the end he mentioned like I didn't have a father, like,
or like his father passed away.
Yeah, exactly. So you sort of he feels sort of like regret, or there's like a lot of resentment there,
like
because
you can definitely see he carries the burden of his father directly on his back.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And
which is not something any like human should ever have to do.
And
like,
I think that's
But I don't think
big
it's a bad thing though.
I don't think it's bad because
the thing is, if you're able to pull it off, right, instead of being depression, you're being a better man. You're a great man.
Right,
you're
If
already
you're
better
able to
than
pull
your
that off,
father. Yeah.
exactly.
That's
But the
true.
thing is, if you cannot pull it off and it's stuck with you, it's like a fucking, I don't know what you call it, like a
It's an umbrella.
sand.
It's an umbrella.
No. It's like a sanding. So it's like if you can get out, you just fucking sing in and sing in and sing in and more and more.
Okay.
Like you can pull yourself out. Exactly.
I got you.
So then, and then reason why, and then he need help. I understand the part. Like, he go to counselor, he venting out. That is great. But in the end, it's still you yourself that you have to get yourself out.
Like if it feels like he's putting too much of the burden of his father on himself.
Right,
Also,
but the thing is, no, but not also that. It's also is that he also expecting other can help him.
That's okay.
You see what I'm going with?
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
He is expecting other to help him instead of him like maybe do like
Gia just said
did
exactly
trying
what- yeah.
to he did trying to go to consular. Okay, that's fine, but that's not the main thing. The main solution. The main solution is yourself to get out of that stage. If you don't even help yourself, you just go there. It's pointless. Because
Yeah.
those it's like a medicine that just like touch you, like it just solve you a little bit. It doesn't solve the root itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't solve the problem itself. It's only give you the little hint that bomb. That's it, and then you
Have
feel
you-
great. You
Have
feel
you heard
great,
this
but
saying
it's a fix.
where have you heard this saying where it's like help yourself before this have you seen that airplane thing where they tell you put your
Save
mask on
yourself
first
exactly before your
before
kids.
you put on the
Yes,
person?
yes,
Exactly. Because if you don't put the mask on and you put their mask on first, you get fucked
Yeah.
yes.
immediately. And it's the same thing to life. And
I
it's but also before I also wanted to mention he shot on the lady's mother for having 13 kids. In third world countries, that is very normal. There's
That is
not a
really
lot of
normal.
I
there's not
mean,
a lot of options to plan B,
Yes, yes,
protect to condoms.
right.
Like,
yes.
people
Not
have
not
sex.
even that, but not even that. Is that I understand what you're going with, but second is the labor part.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that
People need
exactly.
labor.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Like complaining that like, oh, you shouldn't have 13 kids because you don't know what.
Yeah.
It's like
Like
okay,
she's
you
not a
think-
bad mom because I
Yes.
bet you all 13 kids made it out fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
His mother is an example.
I don't know.
I
I
just-
feel like
I just-
that argument of like
that irked me the most. I hated that he's like, that's not a flex. She wasn't flexing.
she wasn't flexing.
she was
Even-
saying it was a struggle.
I
I
don't think
understand.
it.
Okay, maybe not all 13 kid is as great. You know what I mean? Like they're not
Yeah,
upper
they're
class or
not-
middle class, but they survived. But they
Uh-huh.
made it. Like they're still alive and they're enjoying what is in the modern world right now.
But
You know what I'm going with?
But the
'Cause
reason, yeah, go for it, go for it.
when my parents, right? My mom, at least my mom's side, she has at least she has like 8 brother and sister, like combined together. Like that mom that we watched it, right?
Mhm.
But the thing is, my mom is the one that she has to go out and work for the underling, like for the under
Yeah,
one,
she
like
was
the younger
the
one.
older
Yes,
one.
exactly. She's the second oldest one, so she has to go out and work, and she lost the opportunity to go to study and stuff. But she feels so proud that like her brother, like sister, that can get out and go out to work and earn the money. That's the part that I think is really different compared to like what he say, because that when we at the country that's really under development, you need labor, and labor is not free, and then you
Mhm.
can take care and you can survive your whole family fuck. And in order
Yeah.
to make labor free is to get your own kid do something. And
Mhm.
I understand you have to sacrifice certain kids for other kids, but eventually it's come back down to it's still survive. Like they still survive. At least it's not like, if let's just say if I only have one kid, then we are fucked.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any labor.
No,
But if
and
I have
also,
8 kids, at least I have 3 labor out of it.
And you
yeah.
can get and your kids will like naturally help you, especially
Exactly.
if you're like a loving parent. Like this lady also helped her mother. Her mother needed things to be done because she can't do all 13 kids things. So she was like, can you do this? Can you do that? So
And
it's like a
yeah.
community. You have to help each other.
But I
But
get what he
now-
meant. Like,
Yeah, but enough of because I get what he meant. Like
well,
it's
because of the
irresponsible,
old,
but
that whole old times thing where he was like in the old
Yeah.
time. It's like, look, if you want to have one kid in the modern era, in the modern age, go for it. Because at the end of the day, like, you don't need labor like that.
But also the expense to feed a single kid now is way
Is
expensive
way
than
more.
back
than
then.
it was back
Everything
in
is
the
a lot
day.
more
Yes.
complicated. Yeah. So
And
I get that.
especially
but-
when you're in like a first world country where like finances and like
Yes.
people are constantly irking you, like don't, like back in the day it was like once you're 18 you're expected to have a house, a wife, a family, like started.
Yeah.
But like nowadays that age has been pushed to like whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready.
And in some
So-
countries, go up to
and
30. Like
that's a
it's-
privilege we
And
have
not just
now.
mention, not saying it's not equality and stuff like that, but back
Mhm.
then, female was born to like so that they marry across, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
And then they get the money from the opposite family. Does it make sense?
correct.
Yeah.
As in many
That's-
cultures it's like that.
Exactly. So that's one of the income that they're expecting from it, because they say that it's better to get a girl so they get the money, like from giving the marry, and then the brother, like the guys who get to go to study and stuff, and then they use that money to like provide the brother to go to study further. Does it make sense? Like,
Yeah.
because when college
Yeah.
is expensive back then too, it's not as cheap as it is in the same standard. I'm not saying it's not equality and stuff, because but it's back then. That's the
yeah,
concept itself.
that's the thing. We have the privilege of not being in arranged marriage. I mean, okay, granted, there are still countries that are still going through that, but
Yes.
for the most part, I would say a good portion of the world
doesn't
have to do
that.
arranged marriages. At least that's what
Anymore.
I mean. You know, right? And in the future, it's gonna be less and less. So we have those privileges. This guy is like looking at all the
he's looking at all the negatives and he's not open. He's emotional in the video.
Yes.
And he's attacking the points that hurt him the most. And he's putting his modern mindset back to the back then.
He's
not opening his mind or like understanding what she's trying to say, or like trying to at least understand where she's coming from. He's kind of just putting his own reflections on it. But I also want to talk positively about things he said in the video, because especially during immigrant parents and stuff like that, he said his mom had to endure a lot of things. And it's difficult, especially when you're raising kids, to leave a marriage immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when you rely so much on that other partner to help you out and raise the kids, you can't just walk away.
Especially your mom has been like home, like being a housewife instead of going out to work. Like people don't hire you that easily because you've been a housewife. You have no experience whatsoever. Why don't I hire the people who are younger than you, right? They are more energetic than you. They have more idea. They're more younger.
Yeah.
Rather than hiring you. You are a divorced woman with a kid. You have more stuff that you have to spend, like, with your kid instead of like
you have to take care of your kids, because it's either you take care of them or someone else has to come, and you have to pay them for that service. And not everyone has the funds to do that. And I think there's a lot of things that he could have mentioned, and I feel bad that his father ended up passing away and he feels like he has to carry the burden on. But I feel like he's putting too much pressure on himself to try and carry fix that burden.
And you mentioned that he was putting a lot of he was trying to like, I felt like he was also trying to pin it on like, oh, our generation this, and it's like, our generation is like this not because of people like you, but you instilled this mindset that like depression, it needs to be a valid thing. When you mentioned, oh, that's not a flex, you shouldn't want that for everything. Well, you shouldn't want people to be depressed. I mean, it made it sound like that, like that was something okay.
It made it seem like he was like, our generation only has depression because you guys fucked this up.
Right.
But the thing is, if you look at it from that standpoint, then you yourself can't get better. Because if I looked at all the shitty shit my father did to me as a kid, and I'm like, damn, bro, like my father really fucking blows, and now I have to fix everything my father did to fix myself, I'm never gonna look at it. I can literally, whenever I think about it, I'm always like, my dad is a great father and he's done some fucked up shit. So you know what I'm gonna do? I have to be better than him now. I have to improve. I've already seen his fuck ups. I've seen his mistakes. How do I avoid them?
But not everybody has that mindset, George. I'm sorry.
I understand.
There are people that are saying that eventually you're gonna become whatever the person that you hate, like they always say.
Yeah.
There's a quote for that. I think it's that because first off, kids used to learn from their parents. That's the most important thing we all know.
Yeah.
Kids learn from their parents. Whatever your parent does, you learn from that. And it's really hard for you to change, especially since you were a kid. Like when you were like born, when your father was like already start drinking, abusing your mom since you're born, it's really hard for you to curb that.
Abusing him, never abuse his mom.
Right. And then I'm saying that is that because let's just say you were 18 and your dad started to abuse your mom, right? Or you yourself. You know how to defend yourself because from the 18 years you know what is right.
Right. Yeah, it's nurture.
Yeah, but that's the same thing I'm saying. Like, he's putting all this blame onto like his immigrant parents and like they're the reason for his trauma. But I think his approach to handling that trauma could have been better, or he could have just explained it in a better way. Because if you see your dad's fuck ups, you should already be able to like self-reflect, especially with a therapist. Because
I mean, it could be that his dad abused him since he was a kid.
No, he did say that. He did say that. But I'm saying that.
But how is he gonna go to counselor when he was a kid?
No, but I'm not. I'm saying from like the standpoint of an adult. Like he's clearly stating that he needs to be better than his father. That's why he's fixing the trauma that was put on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
But he already has that reflection. He has a therapist constantly telling him, and I think he hasn't coped with the idea that his father's gone, and he feels a sense that he has to fix himself because his father never got the chance to fix himself.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Overall, I
I
did
feel like a
like
lot
his
of the
final
burden is gone.
message. Like
I like his final message.
his final
It's
message of like you needing like and not only his final message, but like there was a little thing in there where he was like, that's why as generations pass, we're gonna get to a point where we're gonna be like, enough is enough. We're gonna treat our offsprings or whatever better, and we're gonna end up at like a consensus of like
that's true.
love, and that is true for the most part. You can't, for as much as you would want to blame, and he was blaming, but he was also like, I appreciate my parents for all they did for bringing me to this country.
He even said both his parents were amazing in the end.
Right.
He said they had their flaws,
Yeah.
but they were still amazing parents.
I think like the whole point was that this lady felt a little ignorant in what she was saying, because in the same ways, like you have a lot of adults that will say this, like that will call the newer generation very sensitive, and I can kind of agree with that, but like compared to the world that you lived in, you can't compare the 80s and 90s to 2020. Like it's a very different world we live in. It's a lot less like cyber, like stuff like cyberbullying that would have been like prevalent is not
Information's
like
leak,
yeah,
like privacy.
there's a lot of sensitive stuff that happens, and it's not necessarily like kids aren't as tough,
Not
understandably.
also more knowledge.
And there's
Way
a lot,
more
yes,
knowledge.
there's way more knowledge. That's
Way more information you're receiving.
I always say you got to take, like, for example, this lady's advice. Always take it when you're speaking to someone older with a grain of salt, because they're older than you. They've lived life longer. Most of their problems are fixed.
They know the
Most
moral.
they
They know the
they
moral behind it.
know their moral compass. Their relationships fixed, their friends fixed. They've figured out everything in life. They might still have some fuck ups that you see as a third party or as this child, and you can fix those for your next generation. But it's gonna be the same way. When you're talking to your kids, you're gonna tell them this, and this, and they're not gonna understand you. They haven't had life experiences to the degree that like
You have.
someone older than you has.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
it's like you always have to always take the good advice from an older person and be able to filter out the bad.
Okay,
'Cause that's
even now,
important.
as us three, even now, like, would you like? And I'm asking a question here. Would you guys say that you and your parents, whether it's your mom or your dad or both, would you say you agree with everything that they do? Like that, like for like, would you agree with everything? Like, for example, the way they live their life, their morals, their just way of living. You don't, right?
No.
Like you do to some extent, but not everything.
There
are things you would agree with, but there are also more things that you wouldn't.
The thing is, for me, I'm open-minded. So if my parents fuck up, I tell them straight to their face.
Not
like my
necessarily
dad
like mess
my,
up.
my,
So
my dad came in yelling at the house because my mom bought an air mattress because my nieces are sleeping over, and he got really mad about it. He's like, "What the fuck would you buy an air mattress?" I I literally go talk to my dad. I'm like, "Yo, you kind of overreacted for no fucking reason." Like I get he just got home from work. Like, bro, relax. like,
yeah,
just
okay,
chill out.
but
She
like
bought it because she needed it.
it's not
Like,
more of like what you disagree.
Yeah.
Like okay,
No,
it's
I
what you
understand.
disagree with him on. But like I'm talking more. Okay, yeah, like that's kind of an issue. But I
Like-
mean like more on like, for example, like
It's moral compass.
moral stuff, and or not even that, but like living situations. Like maybe you agree with something
Yeah.
in the house and or everything political. I mean,
Yeah,
that's you know.
like there's some the thing is there's some things my parents and me are gonna disagree with, but I'm very open to talking to my parents and letting them know when they're wrong doing something, when they're wrong in a political belief. Like my parents used to be all types of shit. I'm not gonna say because I'm not gonna fucking out my parents. But as I talk to them, I'm like, you gotta understand you can't be like this anymore. You can't do this anymore. Especially as I've gotten older, I've gotten more comfortable being like that. because they know as a responsibility, I could leave whenever the fuck I want, and they could never hear from me again.
Right.
Because I am my own person at the end of the day,
Yeah, of
and they
course.
understand that, so they take everything I say true to heart, and they'll reflect. But I feel like a lot of people, like this guy, never got to have that conversation with his father, and he never put it on the table to
Yeah.
have a conversation like that with his father,
The
to
thing
have a
is,
conversation
I'm
like that
all
with his mother.
I'm also very like I know I'm very different from my mother in everything we do. Not everything. There's like some things we do agree on, but like there are for the most part I would disagree with her on most things. But we still live together. We still we have a consensus. Like we've come to like an agreement on things. If she wants to believe her thing, she can. I believe in my things. I'm not somebody that likes to like discourage others and stuff. So I'm not going to go against your beliefs. You can have your own. Because at the end of the day, who am I to make you uncomfortable? Like that. That's my belief. That's my thing. Other people
And there's
don't think like
and
that.
there's no point in changing someone's mind who's already set.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, only way you can change some people's minds, and I was thinking about this before we were gonna start this conversation. You can't change someone's mind in a day in a conversation. That's not how that works.
You might never change
Like,
it.
it might never change. Like, they'd have to experience something to then have that life altering
Yeah,
moment
exactly.
for them. Like, in the BLM movements, I saw a lot of cops dropping their badges. I saw a lot of people erasing the Nazi sign that they had tatted on them, because these people had a moment and then they flipped the switch and then they realized, holy shit, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
And you don't get that moment with a lot of people, but I think this guy, I feel bad because he never got that chance to talk to his parents. And or at least his dad. And like there's other YouTubers out there who have expressed the same type of emotion this guy has when it comes to their fathers that I've seen. And they always say, I wish I could have had that conversation. But this guy, when he said it at the end, he never said it. He said he wished his dad would have gotten help.
Yeah.
I feel like if he would have gone and just, you should have been there for your father, in a sense. If you really wanted that change so bad for your father, you should have stepped in and tried to help, especially the older you get. The older you get, your parents have no power of you. Once you hit 18, they have no more power. That's why they can kick you out the house. That's why you can start your own life. That's why you can be your own person when you're 18.
No, I'm not saying
legally.
but the thing
Go,
is, it's really hard for people like 50 or 60 to change their
yeah. That's why I'm
mindset, their
that's
moral
why I'm saying.
compass.
That's
Like
what I'm saying.
especially
It's hard stuck.
when especially like when you have a really long, like a big gap between you and your parents, the understanding of this world is really have a huge gap like between you guys. Like you understand modern stuff really easily. You understand the concept of equality and stuff like that, right? But maybe your parent doesn't. They're still in the
Yeah.
old
Yeah,
mindset
of
there,
course
like
not.
exactly. And it's really hard to change their mindset because it's not that easy to accept new things for the old people anymore.
Yeah.
Like they don't have the capability to do so anymore. They are old, they're slow, and they're
And they don't care.
it's really
They don't care anymore. They got it figured out in their minds. They have it figured out.
it's really hard for them to process stuff like this. Like especially um not saying, but the low income is more tend to really hard to change because they get to interact with not a lot of like new thing or new concept, not like the high upper class, right? You know, they get to experience a lot of modern things, stuff like that, so they are more easier to change. And I'm not saying it's they're unchangeable, but it's really hard.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with, especially when you succeed. Like this lady, she's clearly succeeded in life. She looks like she had a nice house. She has kids and family, whatever. At at that point, if something works for you, you're gonna constantly think it's gonna work for somebody else, and it's always gonna be like that. But I think if you care about someone enough, like Matthew mentioned, him and his mom disagree on a lot of things, and but he doesn't necessarily talk to her about those things. But he might not need to, because those things literally do not influence their
Her
No,
at all.
at the end of
relationship,
the
their way of
day,
life.
No, not
It's
even
not
yeah,
that.
it's
It
not
doesn't even
causing you
affect
trauma.
her. It doesn't
Yeah,
even affect her.
it
So
doesn't affect her or Matthew. It doesn't cause either of them trauma.
the thing is,
Like,
I'm gonna be honest. The whole okay, Like I remember, and maybe I have a bad memory. I remember things when I was a kid. Like I remember certain things that like made me cry or made traumatic. What people would label as traumatic, right?
Traumatic.
But I never thought of those as like something, and maybe it's because I had good parents. Maybe that's the truth. Um, but I don't remember times, even when I had those like experiences of like my parents hitting me or dragging me by the ear, stuff like that that you would think is traumatic. I never once thought of those as like a bad thing. At least not now. Like looking back on it, I'm not saying it was a great thing, but I'm not saying it was like something that made me feel a certain way about my parents. Like I didn't lose any respect for them because of those things. I think it could have been approached differently, sure, but I don't hold any resentment, and so there's no trauma there. Like it feels weird to.
And like you have two younger siblings technically.
Yeah.
And I bet if you saw one of your parents do something to those siblings that you don't approve of, you wouldn't just sit back
No, I would not.
and let them experience that trauma.
Also,
And I think that's why you don't need to have that conversation
Yeah.
that this guy
it's
needed to
also
have.
knowledge. Like back then, our parent only understand the concept of being like punishment increase their memory. Like it give you the hard memory.
It's like a dog. You put a
You're
dog
right.
in a cage when they do something bad.
Exactly. So
Yeah, it's hard.
those are
It's
their
discipline,
those
but
are the
like,
knowledge. Like that's
Mhm.
what they understand of. So they
Yeah.
use it. They didn't
And that's
understand that being like encouraging your children can improve
I
their
mean,
stuff like that,
it's
the motivation
literally
and all kind of stuff. So it is in a sense that we are getting more knowledge and more information nowadays
yeah.
than the old day,
like
and we're understanding more concept and generals that we're more study, we're more historical data and stuff. We understand from the past. That's how we improve. We improvise.
like this what I'm about to say might not apply to like most of Gen Z now, but to the Gen Z that was born during our time, if you talk to a teacher or your parents, I bet 90% of the time they said in class my teacher had a paddle and was ready to beat my ass. Like teachers had a paddle, not even your
Yes.
parents. Like disciplinary actions back before like the 1995s or whatever, discipline was way different than you see it nowadays.
Yeah,
Discipline
yeah.
nowadays is detention. Back in the day,
Violence punishment was
bah,
allowed.
it
Violence
was
punishment
allowed.
was allowed.
Your teacher could do it. Your
Even
parents
even
could do it.
even you complain to your
Someone,
parent, guess what? Your
uh-huh.
parent don't give a fuck. Your parent say it's good. It's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, your
It's
discipline does that.
it's
when
discipline through fear. Like it really is,
like
because that
look at this. Look at this. Boom! I learned that from my mom. You catch the sandal in your hand. Boom!
That is
it's
You
discipline.
see, he did it himself.
It's discipline through fear. It really is.
You see, look. Boom! I'm done.
He's got the skill. He's got the skill.
but now
Good night, guys.
but now then, bro, if your parent abuse you, you can call a cop and the cop will cut your parent.
Yo,
Like
wait, am I gonna have to
then it
censor
doesn't-
that? Am I gonna have to censor that? Like,
back then,
just as George, I guess.
back then it was like back then your parent, like if your parent beats you, you cannot call the cop. Like it's allowed. It's
Mhm.
legal.
Your parents
Now
can beat you.
I'm sorry,
Now
that's the
now
wildest
even
thing
they
these
touch you,
days.
not even they just touch you, bro.
You want to know a fun fact? I used to use that shit on my parents all the time. When my
Bruh.
parents would even think of beating my ass, I was like, I'd call the cops on you. It was GG's. What were they gonna do?
now even the parents touch you, you can fucking call them SA, bro. Like you can call them anything you want, literally. Like it comes to the
It's such a
sense that
different world.
it's come to the sense it is different. It's come to the sense that we cannot compare old days and nowadays anymore because it's so much
Yeah,
stuff that is allowed and not allowed anymore.
because most of what our parents did and this guy's parents did was ignorance. Ignorance. They thought a certain way.
Not even
like,
ignorant. It's just
they
that they
didn't-
were taught that way.
Yeah, but there's ignorance in the sense that they didn't have the knowledge that we had. So they were ignorant to learning new ways to like raise a kid.
But
or,
they
like,
really,
do
but they
certain
don't have
acts.
the information to even.
That's what I mean
to
by
study.
ignorance. They didn't have the information, so they were ignorant to the
Yeah.
new ways that they
And
could
not
do
even,
things.
not to mention that there's no guidebook for how to become a parent. Literally, there's no guidebook. You have to learn from hand by hand. Your experiences.
You have to
your
learn
f-
from how your parents
Exactly.
raised you.
Your
Mhm.
first kid is always the toughest one.
Mm-hmm.
Your second kid is always the smoothest one. There's no doubt for that. And it's
Everything
really
after first.
exactly that's what I'm saying. Is that people don't understand that. I understand you're trying to stand on their point of view, but you never been in their shoe before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard for you to understand some detail. Maybe you try to pretend it, but there's still some detail that you are missing. So
Mhm.
you can't just drop in the word like saying that, look, this is good, this is older. No, it is. It's understandable you say that, but you never been to their shoe. You cannot say stuff that they that you acknowledge just because your opinion thing is right.
Mm-hmm.
There are opinions that maybe you're right, you're wrong, but eventually you never been in there. You can say a lot of stuff.
And in some cases, your parents could be very, very, very wrong. Like there are some shitty ass parents.
Yeah, just because they're older
But
doesn't
you
make
know,
them. And that
yeah,
and they'll put that against you. They're
because
like
this
society.
at least this guy acknowledged his parents were still great.
Yeah.
Like some of the kids that would have gone through those beatings probably could have had worse parents, and they could probably say, "I hate my dad." But this guy could at least go back and at least say, "I had two great parents, amazing parents." At least he could go back and say that. There's not many people that can go out and say that, and probably have way more trauma than this guy could ever have in one sitting. I remember a guy. He went to prison, and he would explain how his mom would beat him and his brother up like really bad. Like she grabbed this kid's head and slammed it on a sink. Her own son, like, and I think about that and I'm like, there's worse out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, there's just worse. And you have to accept that if you're able to reflect and be like, I have great parents, you can you know what you can do to fix yourself and not be as depressed much easier than that guy who got his head slammed into the sink can.
Right.
A
That's true.
normal parent is a normal parent can be bad and could be good. Like there's always a comparison. You cannot always compare. They're giving you the best. Like if you like, let's say you don't have trauma, your parents giving
Bro,
you the best they have.
parents are also
Like
products of their parents and their
Yeah.
parents and their so
yeah,
it's just like a
you can actually compare between parents and parents at the end because everything is different. Background different, culture different, knowledge
And,
different.
and like he said the cycle was gonna stop at him.
right. No,
But
it's not.
I bet his dad
Thought the same thing.
the cycle was completely different than his previous father.
Right.
And that cycle was probably different than his previous father.
Like he's probably saying that and it's true. He might, you know what? He might not do any physical harm to his kid.
I know for a fact he's not gonna hit his kid.
Right.
100.
But there might be other things that he might like for example, he might do something or he might
Like-
act a certain way or have certain morals
Like
on his kids.
like Gia, for example, his parents. Do you know the term tiger parents, Gia?
Yeah,
Where your
all Asian
parents
parents
expect-
take it from you.
Where you expected A's, B's. Like
Yeah.
he could enforce that type of trauma on his kid, where his kid constantly thinks he has to be the best at something, and when he fails, his kid probably goes into like the same not
A
the same
depression
depression,
stage.
but he's gonna go to a depression. I went through that depression state where you think you're the best, and once you fail,
You feel
you
your
feel
ego.
completely fucking lost. Your ego just gets boom. You get humbled in less than a second,
Yeah.
and that trauma is different than every other trauma. There might be a million traumas you can put on your kid, and you don't even know you're enacting on them
you're
necessarily.
putting them.
And what your kid might define as trauma in 20 years
That's
is
the
going to be
thing.
different than what you define as trauma.
That's the key note.
in your
It doesn't
20s.
have to be physical abuse. It doesn't have to be emotional abuse. You could literally do something minuscule, and your kid might think of that for the rest of his life and be like, "Oh my god!"
There's some kids out there who parents have given them technically zero trauma. Like their parents have treated them like kings, given them whatever they want, treated them like
and that
everything.
in itself
Those
is
kids deserve
bad.
everything.
Like
And then that kid, when they grow up, they expect everything to be handed to them, and then
They're
they
like,
don't have a good.
bro. They're like,
Yeah.
no, bro. This is a trauma, bro. Like my parent gave me everything to do. This is a huge trauma. I can't become a better myself because I can't even.
I can't better
Exactly.
myself because my parents gave me everything. Well,
Yes.
like
there's just certain types of trauma, and I bet those people that were given everything don't even see it as trauma. They're just like when they grow up, they start realizing, oh my god, my parents fucking spoiled the shit out of me.
Like,
And now I don't know what
oh my
I don't know
god,
how to take care. I
my
don't know how to take care of
parents,
myself.
my parents set me up
Exactly.
for failure. Like, bro, like it's not like it's tough. It's a
Yeah.
tough like
bro,
thing to go
my
through.
parents always cook for me. But guess what? When they're not home and I'm home from like 9 to 6 without them, guess who has to cook? So I went out of my way to learn how to cook. I know how to do laundry if I ever need to do laundry. I know how to
Right.
I know how to make my bed when my parents aren't here to they don't even make my bed, but when they're not here to make my bed, it's like I don't like what if you're figuring something out, figure it out. Reflect on yourself, reflect on what you're learning, reflect on how your parents treat you,
Yeah.
and be better. Don't rely on medication. Medication is gonna dumb you down. It's gonna make you feel super numb. Like, especially don't take meds if you're a
Isn't
kid.
that
If
like
you're a
isn't that
parent,
like
do not give meds to your children before they're 18.
but isn't med like those med is like to cut off your emotional, like they reduce your
Yeah, they
emotional
reduce-
The
frequency.
thing is,
They suppress.
there was this okay, I can actually tell you guys a study. So there was this group of people that did a study on children for like to try to find ADHD, bipolar disorder, other shit, depression, and they clarified like tantrums, like you know how kids have mood swings, like some kids fake cry and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like these are regular acts in kids. Kids do this regardless. They either fake cry to get their way, they act. These aren't things you can just medicate someone on because as they grow older,
They
like
understand.
they're gonna understand it. They're not gonna be throwing temper tantrums and crying to get what they want, especially if your parents like really
But that's
engrave that on you.
that's a regular human nature that you cry
Yeah.
for your stuff.
Yeah. It's like these are regular human acts that a kid is gonna do because, especially if it works. If a baby cries one time and you pick them up, what are they gonna do when they want to get picked up? They're gonna cry.
Right.
So
Like they
it's
want
like
the food, they just fucking cry. They can't talk, bro. Like what you want them to do?
it's like,
Yeah.
and as they get older, these things are gonna start disappearing. But if you're diagnosing like young kids who don't know have any like understanding of their emotions, they just see that certain things are working at certain situations, then of course they're gonna have these things. So no medications until you're older. Like what I don't
Agreed.
whatever the age is to take pills, I don't
That
fuck it.
yeah, that's true.
It's like,
But,
dude,
like,
this is alcohol, bro. Like
yeah,
No,
like you're not
but
allowed to drink to 21. Why are you allowed to
pills.
get fucking ADHD pills when
No,
you're
but
8?
I'm 100%. Like I don't know. I don't even know where this mentality came from, but like pills are the enemy in any form. Like even pills like Advil, Tylenol. I'm not saying that they're inherently bad, but the reliance on them, not a good thing. I don't
So,
think
I don't
any.
know.
I don't think
So
any
there's
pills
a
good.
quote in China. I don't know if I know the Chinese mat. Uh, so back in China, right? We don't have pills and stuff. We eat like plant and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right? The herbs. So
medicinal.
what they
herb,
always say, yes. So what they always say is that every pill and stuff that you eat, mat, there's always 3 point. Like, so there's 10 point, right? Three out of 10 is poison.
right.
You cannot constantly take medicine. Either you get addicted, it does something bad for you, even though you know the pill is supposed to be good, but eventually it's gonna be bad for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't constantly take pills.
You raise a like people. You gotta,
Tolerance, yeah.
And pills at the end of the day are just a gateway to many other things. Like if a kid starts popping pills at an early age and they get tired of the pills and they want to stop taking them, and you tell them that this type of behavior that they're implying is negative, they might look for a gateway. They might look to marijuana, they might look to this other drug, they might look to this other drug, and then they start relying on those drugs. And then they don't pop the pills, but they're popping these drugs, and these drugs could possibly be more harmful to them later on.
It's that reliance. That's the issue. You start. You think, oh no, I just take these to sleep. Yeah.
I just
So
I
like
just
you
take
can
these-
stop.
I just take these to do this. Like, oh, I just take these to control my anger.
Right.
Then what happens when you're not taking them?
Then when,
And
yeah,
you can't
exactly.
and you can't control your own anger.
Right.
Like this, and I've have experience with this with people in our lives. Like, and it sucks because you can't tell this person that they're wrong and that this isn't gonna help them at the moment.
Yeah.
Because this is what they've been told their whole life is gonna help them. So it's
Yeah.
like, what are you gonna do? You have to try and your best to reflect on yourself and help yourself. And I don't think therapists should be allowed to even prescribe medicine.
yeah, that
to their patients.
I'm sorry, but listen, like what? Imagine a scenario, and we'll end it off this because it's getting kind of long. But imagine this scenario, and we'll go. If all of a sudden all pills and all medicinal things were just eradicated from this world, do you know how many people would like not only die but just have severe withdrawal? Like everyone would be effed. Like not everybody, but those, of course, everyone that's on something. That's like, and this is why I strongly. It's not like I'm against certain things. Like, you know, I'm not like out here anti-vaccine or anti like hospitals. Hospitals are great. You know, anesthesia if you need it, whatever. But the reliance on anything, even coffee, stuff like any type of thing you enter into your body, bro. Even things like even mental reliance.
Like coffee gives you a headache. If you're a coffee drinker and you don't drink coffee for one day, that headache you're gonna get is gonna hurt.
But to be fair, everyone has a like a complacency with everything. For example, if you every single day you like to listen to a rainfall video on YouTube every single day, you have an issue, because if one day you don't do that and you can't sleep, there's a problem. Now, granted, like, you know, that's kind of tough because it's like, well, is the rainfall video really gonna do me any harm? Well, no, but it's still reliance on like you're still relying on something.
What about one day you don't have internet?
Exactly. One day, like,
what about one day that you were trapped in somewhere that you can't access your any technology and stuff?
Exactly.
You gotta find a way to do something.
You're gonna make your own raindrop.
You just don't go to sleep. Like, it's
like,
tough because people.
When a storm cuts up your power, bro, if you're not going outside riding a bike, then motherfucker, you have shit to work on.
Bro, literally, when the power went out, I just went to bed. Not with anything. I just went to bed because sleeping is what you said, a natural like a necessity.
Yeah.
I just sleep. I'm not gonna drink water all day, but like I'm trying to sleep.
And you're probably gonna pick up a book when you wake up.
Exactly. Reading like. I mean,
we can't become dependent on certain things because it becomes really hard to get off of it.
Yeah,
you gotta have some self-control. So what did we learn, guys? A bunch of gaming news came out.
Yo, we were talking about this topic for at least a solid 40 minutes.
A bunch of gaming news came out. Don't become reliant on certain things. If you feel like you're doing too much of something, stop it for a bit.
And don't blame your parents.
Don't blame you can blame your parents on your trauma, but don't blame them when you're going to fix it.
Yes.
Reflect on what they did and just try to be a better version of them, because at the end of the day, that's all they want for you as a parent.
Understand
to be better
that it
than
happened
them.
And you can't really do anything about it, and try to do better, move forward. Anyways.
And talk to your parents.
Angie won the game.
That's the... Hey, wait, who?
Angie beat Genji.
Oh.
I said it was going to happen. I called it. I said it. All right. Everybody, peace out. Stay safe. Don't do drugs.
Don't do anything.
That's quote that Angel always say.
Gia?
Oh, that is what he says. All right, guys, peace out. See you next time.